Maddie. Hi. All right, let's take a look at this one, guys. The thing about these problems, and this relates to numbers from the worksheet 16 on, they're not. Today's the 5th. They're not set up right off the bat to start factoring. The step 0 that we've talked about, so it's kind of like before you do anything else, is you have to get the equation equal to 0. So over here, how do I do that? Subtract x from each side. Now the other thing I want to mention is it's very students tend to just write this out straight in a straight line, go 10x squared minus 2 minus x. You want to write it in standard form because you're much more likely to be able to factor it easily if it's in the context you're used to. So I can go ahead and I can look at that and say, all right, how do I factor that? Well, the good news, negative 2 is easy. That's either going to be negative 2 and 1 or negative 1 and 2. Only possible combinations there. 10x, that's a little trickier. Yeah, 5x and 2x or 1x and 10x. Now, I always like to off to the side do my guess and checks. So let's guess and check with 5x, 2x. So what's the combination that's going to work? We want to land at negative 1. So maybe do a negative
1 and 2.
1 and 2. So I guess do a minus 1 over here.
1 times 5.
Plus 2. Let's see, that gives me 4x. The outers is negative 5x. That's negative 1x. Aha, that did it. So my factors are 5x plus 2, 2x minus 1. The other reason this is a good one to have to fall back on for reviewing is that when I look at the two factors, I'm not looking at things with a 1 as this coefficient. So these are not 1 steps once I split it. And a lot of the practice we looked at yesterday, when you go to split these into the two possible cases, so 5x plus 2 equals 0 or 2x minus 1 equals 0, they were 1-step equations. These are 2-step equations. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So that becomes 2x equals 1. Then divide by 2. So x is a half. And this guy, subtract the 2 from both sides, leaves me 5x is negative 2. Divide by 5. I get x is equal to negative 2 fifths.
I'm totally lost.
Where'd I lose you?
I understood dividing the 2.
Oh, as I'm taking this equation right here and solving it for x. So the first thing I do is subtract 2 from each side. So that leaves me 5x on this, negative 2 on that. Divide by 5. Negative 2 divided by 5, it doesn't work out, so it's a fraction. So my final answer is x is either negative 2 fifths or 1/2. Remember, the zero product property says if I'm multiplying these guys together and the product was 0, I can split them into 2 independent equations, one of which has to be true. I don't know which.
Alright, I'll figure this out.
What else can I say about number 19?
When's the next BA?
Next BA is not for a couple of weeks,
Thank God.
but it's not that far off because we're only doing small parts of Chapter 9, mostly just this kind of stuff. Absolutely, if you have to.
I'll get a letter.
Is this all we're learning production here? Project?